Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryant Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I'm excited. I'm super excited today, and y'all see why in a minute. But my next extraordinary guest from the mist of Niagara Falls, New York, to the grit and grind of the Bay Area, California. Today's guest is a true architect of sound, a singer, songwriter, and producer who helped define the Northern California landscape, stacking credits with absolute legends like E40, Too Short, and Saafir. Whether he's behind the boards for Goapele and Mistah F.A.B or stepping front and center with his signature 90s soul meets modern edge vocal, he remains a vital bridge between areas. He's a veteran who brought a raw East Coast perspective to the West Coast sound. Please welcome a true student of the game, Aristotle the Great. How you doing, Aristotle?
What's up, Luke Smith?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to let everybody know this. This is the man right here behind Luke Bryan Smith in regards to the self-empowerment music that I create. This is the engineer. This is the producer. This is the backdrop sound beat maker. And I don't just want to say beat maker. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but just orchestrator. Just symphony. I'm just throwing stuff in there, man. Just that's him right there. So we're gonna talk about that, but we're gonna focus on him today. First of all, I'd like to say this, Aristotle. Thank you for being here at this present moment. I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets, and for you to embrace us and grace us with your presence. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. Let's get right into it. Man, you a pioneer in the Bay Area, and I don't think just there, man. You got that worldwide sound to me. So just give us your story, man, in music, how it started. I mean, your bio says it, but we want to hear it from you a little bit more detailed and what how that all unfolded and what you're doing now, man. Just give us something.
Okay, yeah, I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York, in a musical family. My grandmother played the piano for the church. All my aunts and uncles and extended family, they were all like super musically talented. They all could sing and play instruments and draw and paint and everything. And it's just something that was in me and not on me. Like I tried to do other things in life and I always led back to the music and the creativity. You know what I'm saying? So I started writing songs when I was a youngster and like at 9, 10 years old, I was writing full songs with like choruses and bridges and verses
Wow.
and nobody believed that I actually wrote it. They're like, "Oh, you stole that. You took that from somebody," and just saying that you made it. And then I had a neighbor that had a little like mini keyboard, like a beat machine with a little bit of sample time, and I used to make beats on it and play it for people. And they're like, "You didn't make that beat. Like, who'd you steal this beat from?" So nobody really took me serious.
Right.
And I was doing talent shows and stuff like that around town. And then as a late teen, a senior in high school, I come to this strange place called the Bay Area, Richmond, California to be exact. And it was just like another world, another country. I was kind of like culture shocked. I didn't
Right.
understand it. People didn't understand me. And
Right.
after a few years, I started taking to it. I really grew fond of Richmond and Oakland. Um, San Francisco too. I felt more at home in those areas and around those people. And just started doing my thing. Got my first beat machine, and started working with the locals. And then one thing leads to another. You get to the top of the food chain as a producer with, you know, all the cats out here that are legends now and then. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, right, right.
so
I
that's
just
like my origin story as a producer.
right, right. Thank you for sharing that with us, Aristotle. Man, I just have to say this. There's a few things that I want to elaborate with, man. We connected, you and I connected what, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, somewhere around that time. And
Yeah.
I knew it was a connection there. Not only just, you know, I don't know, I can't explain it. The energy was there, put it that way. I'm a firm believer of energy. So I could just tell that, man, this dude is not only super talented, he is very approachable, very just, you know, sound of mind, and just an overall cool dude, man. What I like to call a cool dude. And it's cool. What's cool is we got similar journeys. And me moving from Ohio out to Richmond. And then, just coming to love the Bay Area and Richmond, Oakland, especially Oakland. I gotta give a shout out to Oakland, aka the town, because a lot of talent comes out of there, man. There's something in the water, something in the culture over there that just develops just some I don't know, some magnificence, some motion, some just a lot of kings and queens come out of there, man. I can name a lot. I mean, we can go to MC Hammer, we can go to Too Short, we can go to, Richie Rich, we can go to Tony, we can go to Andre Ward, the world class championship boxer. I mean, just so many. I mean, if I left anybody out, it ain't on purpose, but just so many come out of there, man, and you fit right into there perfectly, man. Just your sound, and if anyone's who's watching and or listening to me, that sound, you give me compliments on how the sound, the quality of the music, the beat sound. That's my man right here. So the next thing I want to ask you, Aristotle, is what would you say that your style is? I mean, you kind of explained it a little bit, but what's your style? I mean, are you more rapper, singer? I'm both. I mean, give us a little, if you could define it, throw out a few words that describe your style.
Yeah, I give you a little story before I answer your question. So I've been producing um and writing for different artists, independent and famous artists, for years. And I had some moderate success. I made a little bit of money, but nowhere near where I really wanted to take it. And so I kind of was ready to hang it up. And I had this issue with sleep apnea, and
Oh
um
wow.
and the doctor said they might have to cut out some of my throat,
Mm,
um and there was like a possibility that like I could lose my voice,
wow.
a small possibility, they say, but still a possibility. And that kind of freaked me out. And I always been able to sing, like I was saying. I come from a musical family. They all can sing. So at that moment, in fear of losing my voice, I was like, wow, I never really took singing serious. And now it's to the point where there's a possibility that I may not ever be able to sing, you
Wow.
know, and do records and do the things I want to do. So at that moment, I really like, grew a passion for singing, and I wanted to do some records. And at first it was just like an experiment, like let me do a cover song, see if people like it. And the response was overwhelmingly good. So
Yeah, of
that
course.
led me down the path of singing and doing my thing, and my style, that I chose, like I'm an old soul, and
Yeah.
I like, all the music that was out before I was born. Like coming
Mm,
from a musical family, there was always the blues playing, Bobby Blue Bland,
mm,
Donny Hathaway, Sam Cooke, Shaka
wow.
Khan,
Wow.
Stevie Wonder, all of these people that I heard growing up and that influenced me. And
Mm,
people like, damn, how old are you? How do you know all this old music? And why does your voice sound so old? You know what I'm saying?
right.
So when I decided to go down my path, I'm like, I don't really want to be a part of what R&B is now.
Right.
I would rather do what I love and do more soul. And plus, I'm a '90s kid, so we love the '90s hip hop, the golden era of hip hop. So that's just me fusing the two together like they did back then, but then doing something kind of modern. You know what I'm saying? A newer version of it, and
Right.
and just doing my own thing. And for me, it's like a breath of fresh air when I go to listen to find new music to listen to. It's like I can't really find nothing because everything's so like the R&B so 808 driven. It's so auto tuning and um which is nice. Like I like that kind of music, but I don't feel like there's no balance. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like okay,
Right.
you get a lot of that, but where's this? And you get a lot of the artists from Europe that'll carry on that Black
Yeah.
American music
Yeah.
tradition. But out here, is not as popular, and the ones that do it are not really getting promoted like that. So
Right.
that's where I stand.
Wow, man, thanks for breaking that down and giving us a bit more clarity. And that's amazing. And I can't, you guys gonna see me, gonna hear me continuously bigging up this guy, man, because when I think in terms of music, especially, me being an artist, and when I say artist, I mean I love creating quotes. I love, writing rap, even, songs. And when I think about the soundtrack to my thoughts, I think of this man right here because this man knows how to capture, the essence of what you're trying to do, what your intentions are. And I'm speaking to him as a producer. This ain't even scratching the surface as this man right here in regards to his artistry, his voice, his ideas, man, which are just tremendous. And he definitely, I'm gonna tell you right now, the world needs to know. The more the world needs to know who this man is. I can't say enough about it. So, what do you see? What do you think? What do you want? What is your? Let me get myself straight here. What is your intentions in regard to your music? Now, I don't want to ask something simple. Yeah, I want to be successful, but what is it that you really want to do with your talent, your artistry? I mean, you're doing it, but is there an end game to it? Like, hey, I want this, I want that, I want this to be like this. I mean, give us a little clarity on that too.
Okay. Well, thank you for those kind words earlier, and I just want to say, um,
It's true, man. It's
for
true.
me, thank you. For me, um, like I say, just the balance. Like I want to hear um new music with the kind of music that I want to hear, and a lot of people want to hear, um, and really celebrate like people using their voice as an instrument. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, and bringing that balance and just like really um, putting some good music out there for people to live to. And I
Right.
would say there's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of talented artists that are not really getting a shot because
Right.
they're not making the popular music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And I remember how it is to be a kid and wanting to do certain things, but maybe the music I was making wasn't fitting the mold. Um, that's why I went into producing because I could be a chameleon and just make any kind of music that people needed. But I think the end game is really to help the artists that are not getting a shot that are extremely talented, you know.
Right.
So me being an artist is kind of using myself as a guinea pig to kind of refine the engine and the machine and dealing with like promotion, distribution, photo shoots, video shoots, interviews, you know, because this thing that we do in music is very expensive and
Right. Right.
with streaming, it you don't really get a good return. So you're just
Mm,
constantly losing. So it's a labor of love, and not as many people want to invest in it because the return just isn't what it was.
right,
But if I can create a lane where these phenomenal artists can, get in and do their thing, make a little money, quit their jobs, and just have that machine there that can live on even when I stop doing this thing.
right,
Um, that would be a hell of an end goal. It's not the only end goal for me, but if
right.
that's all I accomplished in life, I would be happy.
Wow. That's very noble, man. And I was going to ask you who were some of your greatest influences, but you did name some. So you can go into more of that if you like. If not,
Yeah,
if you
I
could
could go
just,
on.
oh, go ahead. Tell us some more of your influences.
Yeah, so like I feel like I'm a producer first, and I would
Right,
say um, I really admire the producers that like created a sound almost, a genre, you know, for like the musical risk takers. And of course, like being in California, the first person you think of is Dr. Dre.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre. I
Hmm.
think the RZA,
Oh,
the
wow.
dude he did with Wu Tang, that's like crazy, you
Right.
know. And then I could go over to the Dungeon family,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh,
and what they did production wise, it just changed the game, you
yeah.
know.
Right,
Um,
right. Shout out to Outkast.
yeah,
Yeah. And what's that other group with Big Gip? Uh,
Goody Mob.
Goody Mob, man, man, those guys. Shoot, man, a lot
Mhm.
of talent over
Rest
there.
rest in peace. One of the producers passed, Rico, I
Right,
believe it is. Sleepy
right.
Brown and all those guys. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
on the vocal side, I mean like Biggie and Pac is always at the top. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Yes.
Then,
I agree. I agree.
and then vocally, um, like my favorite my favorite female singer is Anita Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Love Anita Baker.
And
Shout
then
out to Anita Baker.
man, the Queen, and then my favorite R&B writer is no other than Babyface. You
Oh, yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah, man. A lot of people don't know now how big that man was and how many pots that he had his hands into, and still does. Shout out to
right?
Babyface as well.
Soundtrack to
Yeah,
our life.
yeah, yep. Mr. Edmonds, right? I think that's his last name. Yep. Yeah, he's yeah, he on point, man. You go back to into his catalog. Yeah. So who would you say if you had to describe, if you had to, but if you can't, that's fine. Who would you say sounds more similar? Like say like you had to put your now I know artistry could be any which way, but just for context, who would you put your music with if you say, okay, we have to create a library of a few artists. I don't know, however many, but name a couple of artists that you think, not that you sound like, but would be around that same frequency, that same, sound or similar. It doesn't have to be like, well, yeah, I sound just like Chris Brown or I sound like, Jeremiah. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because I don't think you sound like anybody. That's my
Mm,
personal opinion, and I'm not just saying that because you're a friend and brother of mine, but I don't think you sound like anyone. But if you could, for the viewers here, the listeners here, tell us, yeah, give us an idea of who you think, you know, and if
mm.
not, it's all good.
Okay. There was a there was a producer um named Easy Mo B, and
I know who that is.
he did a lot of he produced a lot of Tupac records, he did some Alicia Keys, some Biggie.
Yeah,
He did the Craig Mack flavor in your ear. You know what I'm saying? So I would say production wise, as an artist, I favor that type of production with like some smooth instruments on top.
right.
And as a singer, I'm kind of rough. Uh, so I would say like I like people like Mary J. that got that rough, raspy voice. Um, and like maybe a John Legend. Uh, yeah, it's real hard to say because my voice is very unique.
Right.
Um, yeah, I like Stevie Wonder, um, D'Angelo. I mean, those are my like influences.
Yeah.
Jodeci,
Yeah. Oh,
and I'm not saying I sound anything like those artists, but I would
right.
say it's kind of in that vein. I could never be as good of a vocalist as those artists, but I would
No,
say
don't say
like
that. Don't say that,
if
man.
if
Do
you
yourself a
pull
favor. Don't say that, man. You there. You there. You don't have the same look. And I'm sorry for interrupting you, man, but I'm just saying this as a fan of yours. Not only a friend, a brother, but a fan of yours. You just don't have the the push, the images that has been placed in regard to them, the commercial push. But you there, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So
I
when you
think
tell me
we
you
working
can't,
on that.
yeah, man.
Yeah, we
You-
working on that now, man. It's be the first
right.
time I have a little push behind my stuff. And I was just saying, like, if you played my stuff on a playlist with those songs and those artists, it wouldn't sound odd. That's all I'm
There
saying.
you go. And I can double down on that. It would not. It wouldn't be like, wait a minute, man. Where are you playing these good songs? Where this one come from? No. They'd be like, who's that? Who is that? But yeah, it definitely would fit in there. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
in
you.
my opinion. So yeah, that's amazing, man. So you got any projects in the works?
Yeah, I got a project coming up um this weekend actually. It's a album called No Turning Back, and
Okay.
it's just like celebrating just the adversity of life and how, you know, sometimes we feel like giving up and we decide not to, but then we're in the middle of like, the hardest part of it, but you done came too far. You already made a decision that you wasn't giving up. So now you just got to
Right.
deal with it. That dark, lonely road that you got to walk, usually alone, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so, I mean, it's R&B, but, you know, it's really the songs I made over a year ago. I was diagnosed with cancer,
Oh
and
wow.
um
Wow.
and like X amount of months, I didn't know if I was gonna live or not,
Yeah.
and I had a serious operation. I was bedridden, and just
Wow.
laying down. But the first thing I did when I was able to sit up in the chair was turn the keyboard on, turn the computer on, and start making music. So
There you go.
um, a lot of these songs is like during that time when I was like not uh when I was recovering from the surgery and not knowing if I was going to live or die at that
Wow,
point.
man.
And I'm good now, but
Yeah. Thankful. I'm
the
thankful.
songs definitely have like a certain grit and a pain to it, and it's definitely something you can feel. And that's
Right.
the only kind of music I want to make is something that people can connect to. So
Right.
that's coming out soon. And I got some music videos coming out, and I'm just excited to see what the world thinks
Right.
when
Right.
we get a little bit of a push. Not a
Right. Right.
not a Mary J. Blige, you know, pop push like that, but just enough to get some eyeballs on it and see what happens.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it is.
that's amazing, man. And I'm thankful that, I was with you through a lot of those experiences that you just spoke about, where, and I'm just happy that I was able to, be there a bit for you. And yeah, man, and just really, you know, that's a prime example. We need to be there for each other. We never know when, the end is coming. We don't know our expiration date. I mean, we always can live optimistically, but you never know. So I'm glad I could be there, and I'm glad you're doing well. And man, another thing I just like to to
Before
say
you
is,
go on,
oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to
Go, go
thank
ahead.
you publicly. I thank you behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
you and your wife really came through, coming to the hospital,
Right.
coming through the house, helping me when I couldn't do for myself.
Right.
So I really thank you for that,
Right.
and for the brotherhood, and also thank all the other people. You know who you are. I ain't got to say no names that
Right.
you know looked out for me and are the reason why I was able to make it through and be here today to do this interview and and make new music and all that. Play the keyboard. I owe a big debt to everybody in my life that really stepped up. You know.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, you don't owe me anything other than to keep living, man, and want to keep listening to your beautiful music and collaborating with you in whichever way I can, man. That's the only thing I ask of you. Don't go nowhere yet, man. We ain't through with you yet, man. So keep on living, man. Keep taking care of yourself. Keep on moving one day at a time, man. The world needs you. I need you, brother. So yeah, let's keep this train in motion, man. We got it. Another thing I wanted to say, man, is it's just I really relate to you because look, not only are you very intelligent, very articulate, very smooth, but you got your finger also with that sprinkle of street, urban. And I'm not trying to like magnify, the the bad parts of the streets, but what I'm trying to say is, you know, those of us that know. I mean, and it just helps shape you when you make it through. You build character, knowing how to navigate through. Certain. I won't go too much, into it, but learning how to navigate and move in certain places and being able to absorb parts of the culture and you know without getting warm, but not without getting burnt too bad. At least you come out and you can use that as fuel to mix in your gumbo, man. And that's what you're doing right there. And I appreciate that. I can see that, recognize that in you, and I'm glad we both here, and being able to turn things into positives. And just reach out there and connect with people in a positive way and use our experiences to kind of sprinkle in what we're doing. So that's amazing, man. You know, that's
Right
absolutely
on, man.
amazing. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I always say like I can't let my past define my future. You
Right,
know, you know, most people that know me don't even know I have that background. I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York. In the '90s, crack epidemic. It was wild.
right,
And then got a chance to come to California. It ended up in another ghetto that looked the same. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And coming from like a family that didn't have much, you know, you do what you got to do to survive. You know,
Absolutely.
and I definitely did those things. It wasn't nothing fashionable. It wasn't anything that I glorified. I just did
Right,
my thing,
right,
on the low. And once I was able to like get out of it and find a job and do other things with my life, then I left it alone.
there you
And
go.
I try not to wear it on me because for a while it was really on me where people would see me and
Right, right,
the street, the old ladies clutching their purse. I'm like, damn, do I look
right,
like
right.
a criminal? Like I'm gonna do something to you? So I really like did a lot to like cleanse my spirit and get that off me. But
Growth, man. Growth.
in a sense, I don't deny where I come from, and you know, I still wear that in my personality, and it definitely comes out in the music because it gives you a lot to talk about. It builds character, and
Right, right,
that pain just makes you a hell of a person. Like people talk to me and like, wow, you know a lot, and you're really easy to talk to and fun,
right,
and I'm like, yeah, that comes from pain,
right,
that
right.
comes from hurt and sorrow. So it all makes up um who we are, me and you, and
Absolutely, man.
I wouldn't change that about us.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you, man. It shows not only contrast, it shows growth, and it shows, example of where you can start isn't how you have to end. You know what I mean? So you're a shining example of that, and that's big, man. And yeah, and like you kept hearing me say, growth, man. That's what you are, a prime example of growth, man. Growth. Those in my perspective, those that refuse to grow, man, they stuck and they become stagnant and eventually wither away and die. If not physically, spiritually, mentally, they wither away and die. And you can see it, you know what I'm saying, in their eyes. So a lot of people have pretty much died and they walking around dead, and the decisions and the way that they live their life reflects that. So, and this is not to talk bad about anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe that everybody has their own journey, and, it's not up to me to judge it. It's not up to me, I can just observe it and have my own outlook and then keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate you though, man. We down to about 5 more minutes, but is there anything else that you would like to share? First of all, I would like to say this. Where can we find your music, man?
You can find it on all streaming platforms, and the new project is gonna be on Even, where you can get the downloads. So even.com, and then I'm gonna put it up on bandcamp.com, and shortly after it'll be on all the streaming platforms,
Right,
Spotify's, and titles and all of that. Aristotle the Great, like you
right.
know, with the Greek thing,
Yeah, yeah, the
Aristotle
philosopher.
the
Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
Aristotle the
yeah.
Great. You the new age philosopher. Yeah, I can double down on that, man. You got a lot to say, lot of wisdom, lot of knowledge, a lot of just creativity, man. It's all out there. It's all in there mixed in his music. And I have to say this. I don't have to, but I want to say this. Aristotle knows that the platform that I've created now, I don't really highlight mainstream or secular music or whatnot. And I'm not saying this music is mainstream, but you know exactly what I mean. But when you when I think of you, or when you wanted to come on the show, I can't say no, man. There's no way. You the backbone to my the soundtrack to my life, to my ideas, and I had to extend it to you. So, and I'm a fan of yours. So I'm letting everybody know that. So this is a rare thing. It ain't a lot of rappers and singers that I'll have on here, but this man is welcome to be on this platform anytime he wants. So, and when he speaks, I listen. So it is what it is. Go on other platforms, any platform, and look up Aristotle the Great. I guarantee you will thank me later. You will not regret it. Definitely you won't. So we spoke prior to this segment, and I'm going to attach some music to this podcast. So be sure at the end of this podcast you don't stop it and turn it off, because I'm gonna give you a little treat though. I would ask him to hit us a little note or something, but I don't think he gonna do that for us today. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna give y'all a treat at the end of this podcast. So don't turn it off. Let it go to the ending credits, and then we're gonna have something pop up there for you attached to the same thing. So yeah, go in the description of this segment and read about a little bit about Aristotle, and I'll throw a couple links in there to you. How do you have I think I can put some of your social media links in the description of the podcast. Yeah, so let's do that too. Send me those your social media links so I can put them in there so people can really, because after they hear your music, they're gonna want to follow you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There ain't no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. So we're gonna have to have your social media links in there, man, so people can, touch you in a way, virtually touch you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you, Aristotle. Anything else you want to leave us with before we wrap this up? Down about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to my brother Luke Bryan Smith for having me on this thing. I ain't really done many interviews, but I'm ready to start getting it in. And
Right.
I want to say Rest in peace to my sister who passed a few years ago, Asia Felice Henry. And then my big brother, who was an Oakland rapper, Oakland legend, Saafir, rest
Mm,
in peace to him. And
mm,
then my brother Dwayne Wiggins from Tony, he passed away recently. I want to
yeah.
say big rest in peace to him. You know, they all in a better place. We miss y'all.
Mm. Yes, yes. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and share this. Not only help the platform grow, but get this out there. Once you hear Aristotle, I'm telling you, you're going to want to get it out there. So share it. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, for tapping in. Appreciate you. Till next time, love and appreciation. Enlightened, empowered, evolve. See you soon.
I need me and you. I need me and you in my life forever and ever. Yeah, and we don't need love. All we need is loyalty, the foundation. No time wasted, temptation. I need me and you. I need me and you in my life to build with, make a meal with. Yeah, and we don't need love. All we need is something real, a connection. Ain't no stress, it's just blessings. Running towards the light. For something better. Running towards the light. For something better. I need me and you. I need me and you in my life forever and ever. And we don't need love. All we need is loyalty, the foundation. No time wasted, temptation. Where did the time go when I hang with you? The time speeds up when I talk to you. You got me ready to risk it all for you. Call my girl up, break it all for you. And we should break up for the makeup sex. Makeup on my pillow, see a lot of cats. Juices on my bed sheets, girl, you hella wet. Hard to forget. Running towards the light. For something better. Running towards the light. For something better. I need me and you in my life forever and ever. I never had time for the other girls, but I'll make time for you. Only you. I need me and you. I need me and you in my life forever and ever. All we need is loyalty, the foundation. All we need is loyalty. I need me you in my life. I need me you. I need me you.